You are locked in to the Cash Flow Show with Dave and Nate, the best place to navigate how to achieve capital appreciation with commercial acquisitions. Here's your hosts, Dave SEYMOUR and Nathan Amaral.
Hey, yes.
Hey, what's up, man?
We are back. Finally, we took like a Portuguese vacation, which is like so many weeks and weeks and weeks.
You go sit on the mountainside and drink red wine and eat cheese and count sheep or something. Isn't that what you do?
Something like count sheep?
Isn't that it?
No, not at all. No, we don't count sheep at all. We don't even have sheep. I don't think I've ever seen a sheep here on the island.
Real? Well, you're not in Portugal. You're in the Azores.
Yeah, but still, I mean, we got cows, but I don't know about sheep.
Come on, the Portuguese got to eat lamb chops, man. It's not just the Greeks and the English, for heaven's sakes. Now,
I just don't recall.
We're back, man. Yeah, I was in Florida. You'd be so proud of me. I walked the property. You will. Did you see that? That was so funny, man. I walked the property in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
it was 300 units. Definitely an A-class property, and I wanted to do a quick debrief on it. And I think I did my first Facebook Live, right? And I'm on my phone. Nate, you've been so proud of me, brother. I'm on my phone, and I'm like, I hope this is live. I don't know if it's live. And I'm just talking, and Eric, my business partner, was like texting me in our Teams app, and he's like, "You're live. Stop asking if you're live. You're live already." So,
goodness.
Spent some time in the sunshine.
How did it go down there? That was the 300 unit you were talking about just a few a few episodes ago.
Yeah, so we looked at it. We've got an offer in there. It's interesting. The silly money's coming down and trying to buy these larger assets. Door count, they're looking for stupid yields, man, like 3%.
Yeah.
So guess what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm not going to put you in a 3% yield deal because nobody's interested in that other than Wall Street. With the silly money. But last week, we went down for April vacation / business, tax strategy. Took Mary Beth and the boys down, and we spent a week in Fort Myers. Spent some great time with Walter, our business partner, acquisitions manager. And we walked a property down there, man, that we now have under contract. There's 25 units in Naples. Right off of one of the better boulevards, if you will.
Okay.
And classic story, just mismanaged. The guy was a builder. He built 250 doors in this complex and kept 25 for himself. Is just ready to get rid of them, unload them. Walter is actually, as we speak, is in the middle of a forensic audit of the paperwork because the record keeping was challenged, to say the least. We'll leave it at that. Like his record keeping is, what did they call it? Top drawer filing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He just threw everything in the top drawer. So Walter's digging through that just to make sure we get as good of a T12 as we can on that deal, because that's a sweet little deal. So anybody who's listening wants to be a part of a really nice property in Fort Myers, reach out to us, give me a shout, and I'll put you on the let me play in your sandbox list.
Nice.
But that's a sweet little deal. Yeah, it was great. So it's all good. I'm going back down on Thursday night because we're walking another asset that we just put under in the Villages. So I keep on flying down to Florida and back. I can leave at 6:00 in the morning. I can be in Florida by 9. I'm walking a property by 10. I'm done by 2. Have a little late lunch, early supper with Walter, jump back on a plane. I'm back in Boston, snuggling up to Mary Beth by 10 o'clock at night.
So have you not convinced her yet to move to Florida?
Why you got to open up? Why you got to pick at a scab like that? Huh? Why?
I'm just saying, come on, it's time.
Check this out. Eric Wilson, our Chief Operations Officer, young gun, 26 years old, bought a 2-unit property in New Hampshire. And he's been living in it for about 3 years with his fiance. So imagine this, right? 26 years old. Got a family friend who's ready to move money like yesterday. Offered him, a cash offer. I'm not going to get into the details, but if you could at 26 years old walk away with a 6-figure profit, what would you do? And we were down there last week. Eric came down, did the 1-day trip down and back, and he was walking the 26 doors with us. And 25 doors. And he's talking to me and Walter in the car, and he's like, "Here's my situation. What should I do?" And his fiance is a nurse, a Botox specialist.
Okay.
And Walter's like, "Come down to the Botox
I know.
of the world."
It's so
right?
true.
Boca. You can open up your own business.
It's so true.
And it's like,
wait, can you do that one more time? That was priceless.
Open up your business down in Boca.
Boca.
With all the other girls getting it lifted and tucked.
Hey, today it's not even just women. There's men getting it done too.
I heard that they actually came out with Spanx for men.
Yeah, Spanx for
Isn't
men.
That something
it's
special?
a real thing. Let me show you mine. Hold on.
I was going to say, can I put one on and eat extra ice cream? You know what I mean? Will Spanx get rid of like the crow's feet in the eyes? I think that just makes me look distinguished. Though.
Yeah, no, you just I got some Scotch tape you can use right there. Just scotch it up, just peel them right back.
I tell you, I can say this because I know she's never going to see this episode, but you know who was like that was Kathy Lee.
Yeah.
When we did, when we did a couple of episodes on the Today Show, there was Hoda and Kathy Lee was the show back then. And Kathy Lee, she's a sweetheart of a woman, but man, she looks like she's standing in a wind tunnel. You know what I mean? I'm like, are you smiling? Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was crazy.
Oh, man.
Look, on a serious note,
down in
I think Eric and his fiance are gonna move down there. So now I'm looking for a single family to buy down in that marketplace.
Nice.
Right? I'll rehab it, and now I got a great tenant in there. So
yeah,
they're moving. Mary Beth, if you're listening this week, come on, baby, let's go.
Let's go.
Go.
I'll call her. I'll tell her.
Do it. Call her. Close that deal.
Actually, there's some great communities, but I'll tell you that a little bit later. There's some great communities down there, as you know. But I guess it all depends what you want. I mean, right now I'm on this golf trip, man. I started golf since I last seen you.
Did you really?
I literally so you were in the mansion at the mastermind, right?
Yeah.
I went. Yeah. So a week before that, I was at my new home in Florida, golfing. And I said, gosh, I should do this more often. While we're at the mansion, I'm golfing on that golf course. And I said, you know what? I got to do this. I literally just got to do this. All ex-hockey players or, hockey players play golf after they're done or in between seasons. Let me do that too. Sure. So I literally...
Hold on a minute. Time out. Hold on. Were you a hockey player?
Is that a joke? Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, keep going.
You didn't know that?
So now you're a golfer. No, come on, keep going.
What do I look?
Bullock.
Okay, Ray Buck. How about Jaromir Jagr? Pittsburgh Penguins.
Isn't that beer?
No, Jaromir Jagr. It's a lager. It's a lager. It's a lager or a lager.
You were talking.
Okay.
So now you're a golfer.
I got that.
What are you talking about? This is a cash flow show.
No, I know, but it has to do with cash, though. Let me proceed. Okay. As soon as I got back here to the island, I literally, the first thing I did was, no, I did not go to a seminar on how to play golf. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Look at that grip. Wow, look at that grip. Exactly.
That's a good grip.
I went and I hired a coach to teach me golf. And I've been golfing now. So I golf almost every day. I had a golf lesson today. I have 2 golf lessons a week, and I golf pretty much every day, and I absolutely love it.
You know what? I can't wait for you to meet Walter, because I found out when I was down in Florida that Walter was good enough. Check this out.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, he was good enough to play on the senior tour. That's
really?
How good he is.
Well, on the senior tour for seniors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's the
That's
senior
still
PGA
great.
Tour, right?
That's fantastic.
Once you get to, I think it's 50, you can play on the senior PGA.
Oh, that's
like
fantastic.
He was good enough to play.
That's fantastic.
And I'm like, the guy consistently amazes me. He really does. It's like every time I spend more time with my boy Walter,
Yeah.
I pick up a new nugget, if you will.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, interesting.
Oh, good man. Actually, the guy I have here as a coach, he's won 14 European championships. And he has the longest driving range than anyone in Europe. Someone's yet to beat him. And I'm like,
Really?
what are you doing here on this island? It might not be Europe. That might be Portugal, the longest driving range in Portugal. Because he went to some tournament to see how, and he hits it like over 300 yards. It's like 375 or something like that or more. It's pretty big. It's pretty huge. So
I can putt that. I can putt that far.
so so on a this has been a happy note. Yeah, there you go. That's it right there. On a happy note, these are definitely well, I hope you don't get deflated with what I'm about to say, because title of our show today is Biden is coming for your money. Did you hear about that news about the 1031 exchange being under attack?
Oh, Joe Biden, God bless you, my brother. It's interesting. So they started to unpack this Family Act, right? And there's a woman locally by the name of Cheryl Fitzpatrick, who's a 1031 expert. I've had her on the radio show actually a couple of times, Real Estate Revealed, here in the Boston market. And she sent out a 911 whoop, whoop, whoop alert. And what they found out is part of Biden's plan is to cap the deferred taxation on a 1031 to $500,000, right? So when you start thinking about, some of the heavier hitters in the marketplace, who are 1031 exchanging tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions, I don't know, of tax deferment into real estate. He's allocated a pretty substantial amount of the savings or the additional tax exposure that these transactions are going to have as part of his way of paying for these this plan that he's got out there. So it's look, we knew that there was going to be an assault on entrepreneurship. We knew that there would be a reconfiguration of taxation that they would attempt to get through. It was funny, Cheryl, when she sent the the information over, she also sent the link to your local rep, which in our case is Elizabeth Warren, right?
Yeah.
So Liz Warren is our rep here, and you could just send an automated email saying, "Hey, I don't like the attachment in here."
Right.
And it's kind of interesting because Elizabeth Warren, incredibly, democratic, if you will, and yet if you do some research on what she was doing in 2007 and 8 during the financial crisis, she was very much a beneficiary of the fallout from the banking crisis because of her own real estate transactions. So it's kind of interesting to see how things are very secular, right? It rolls over and over. I don't know about you, Nathan, but my personal thoughts are that there is enough real estate movement within the members of government, right? Congress, Senate. Like if you're an intelligent investor, you have some kind of real estate fortitude going on within your own personal, your own personal accounts, for want of a better term. So, at the end of the day, who's voting on it? People who can either benefit or be hurt by it. And as long as it favors intelligent investors, I think it'll be left alone. It's not a new process. It's been in the tax code for many years. So that's interesting. Just being aware. We have a responsibility to know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of talk even right now about among whether it's the media starting it up or whatever it is. But there's a lot of talk about how the biggest corporations and the highest net worth individuals are going to be taxed. But I think, and to a lot of people, right, to a good mass of people, they think, oh, this is great, this is fantastic because it's going to now circulate and go everywhere, right? It's going to, it's going to help us out, right? But the reality is that there are always, which most people don't even understand, the tax code that are in place to make these things available. They're not called tax loopholes for They're created tax loopholes are there for people to use them, and just the reality is there's a lack of education.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second, because if you use the term loophole, right,
Yeah.
it has a negative connotation.
Okay, so let's call it tax code.
Intelligent investors call it tax code, tax advantages.
Yeah.
Broke people call them loopholes.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's a broke mentality.
Yeah.
Whereas look at you getting me all going on a Friday afternoon. Whereas you know as well as anybody else that the education is out there if you seek it.
Right.
If you're living in that world where I gotta pay my taxes. Yeah, pay your taxes, but only pay what you're supposed to pay.
Yeah.
If you want to give the government more money, go for it.
Right.
But don't judge
and penalize. Don't penalize
ridicule.
other people. Yeah.
Don't penalize me because I'm intelligent and
Right.
you're stupid.
Yeah.
Right? So that's and I don't mean that on a personal basis. I mean that on an educational basis. Those that seek shall find. So when it comes to the 1031 exchanges, there is a massive industry that's been built around that.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see, if there is any fallout and if they can even get it through, because they're going to negotiate the crap out of this thing.
Right.
It's going to go backwards and forwards. I was talking to a gentleman by the name of Greg Helene, and Greg is co-founder of the self-directed individual retirement account company that we use, and Horizon Trust. And I had this conversation with him, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago. And it's funny. He put a comment out there to me, and it stuck with me. And he said, "I know what I can control, and I know what I can't control. So from a personal standpoint or a business standpoint, if they move the goalposts on me through taxation, through restriction, et cetera, then I've just got to get more creative to match the incomes that I had before, legally, honestly, ethically. So I buy more, I do more, or I downsize in a certain area." Reaganomics, right, was the trickle-down economics of the Reagan era that created this, this conservative mindset around, if you not reward, but if you incentivize business, then that trickles down through employment, that trickles down through availability of credit, it trickles down through. And, a lot of the Reaganomics and the trickle-down effect that was supposed to have happened, didn't necessarily happen. But look, man, I'm a strong believer, as you know, don't restrict me. Why are you going to restrict movement of capital when money wants to move?
Yeah.
If money's sitting still at low yield, it's screaming in agony. We have a responsibility to let it free so it can come back with 2 or 3.
Well,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
commercial real estate does that for us,
It's so true. And the good thing with, I was thinking about yourself when you were saying that is, you come from both worlds, right? And, the European economy and the United States economy. And I don't know. I don't think the UK is that socialistic. I don't know. You would have to enlighten me there. But just living the experience here in Portugal, where socialism is at its, 95%. It comes with a lot of disadvantages. Just this past week, I had another surprise in one of our deals, and it was what the surprise was. Oh, more taxes, and it's like on every corner you look, it's like, oh, there's like 4 taxes in one transaction, not just a sales tax. No, we're talking all these other kind of taxes, right? And it's unfortunate, but the more taxes there are, the more disheartening or unmotivated you can become in an economy, because you're like, well, what's the point? I'm just going to get taxed here and taxed there. It doesn't create a good sense of excitement for building.
Look, man, you used the word there, right? An excitement. Are you passionate? Are you interested? Do you want to get up and go and play every day?
Yeah.
When I was down in Fort Myers with Walter last week, I was looking at quite a few empty restaurants. I mean, boarded up, shut down, and also we actually went over to the Boca area, and
Boca.
The comment was this, which was pretty interesting, and I hadn't thought about it. Was they can't find wait staff and cook staff and help because the unemployment has been extended and extended and extended and extended and extended, and they keep on extending the unemployment. And look, the human condition for some people is to do less and get more, right?
Right.
That entitlement mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult. Why would somebody want to get off the couch and go to work if they can sit on the couch and make more money not going to work?
Yeah.
That doesn't, for me, man, it doesn't make sense. It
Right.
doesn't make sense. But that's a political debate. Can we transition a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Let's talk real estate. Okay,
All right.
let's talk real estate, because we're at a really exciting point.
Hey,
right
just
now. I was just.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we both know this guy. Can we give a shout out to Larry Goins?
Oh, Larry Goins in the house. Man is a legend.
Oh,
man is a
man.
legend. Larry, how
Larry.
are you, my friend? Look at that. Look at that Facebook.
What's going on, Larry?
Larry's a closer when you look at how beautiful his partner is. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be a salesman.
That's so true.
Larry Goins, man, we got some history with that cat. Good to see you, Larry. Hope all is well.
Absolutely.
So look, we're at a pretty cool point right now. We're moving capital into the fund structure, but we're also moving capital now into some of these one-off deals, these syndicated deals. So the 72 units that we've just finished crafting out the LOI, we're pretty much the only player in play, is in the Villages. And when we initially looked at this property, it looked like it was going to transition from a Section 8 environment back to the majority of the assets around it, which were 55 and older community. Really, really nice assets. Walter drove them day before yesterday. Walked in there. It's funny. He was so excited. I could sense the energy down the phone. He's like humming. He's like, these are the nicest Section 8 property I've ever seen. Really? And what we realized was, and it's so key, man, the mismanagement of assets is really what creates the massive opportunity for us as GPs, general partners, but also our LPs, our investors that come in and invest alongside us in these assets. And we were looking at it and just basic numbers without getting too creative. There's just been a bump in affordable housing voucher amounts in this particular market. And that bump has not been figured into the analysis. So we're walking right into a fantastic opportunity at around $1.50 to $1.25, $150 a door. Then we started looking at some of the income outside of the walls, some of the insurance policies that we can put in there for the renters. Okay. Check this one out. This was interesting. We landed a leaseback program for washers and dryers. Because the on-site washer-dryer facility, it was outdoorsy, it wasn't coin-operated, it wasn't being used. And we did a survey monkey kind of thing to figure out, people's tolerance for leasing back their own washers and dryers. Right. And it was high. It was high. It was like $50 a month or something like that to lease back. Some crazy number that the company threw out there. And we started looking at what that does to the NOI. So we ran a couple of small scenarios, and on I think this is going to be about a 7.5 or an 8 million acquisition on there. Very little capex needed, but with the strategies that we ran, big picture, we're looking at $1 million, $1.5 million in additional value based off of a cap rate, and we use a real conservative cap of 5%, right? Okay, giving us $1 million, $1.5 million, based off of just popping the NOI without even getting down and dirty in there. So, what does that translate to, for the investor, the passive investor? That translates into some targeted double-digit returns, right? In that, 9.5 to 11.5, 12% cash on cash quarterly distributions. Some nice multiples at around, 1.9 to 2.1. Is big picture on these numbers. We haven't dialed it in yet, so I'm just giving you the 30,000 foot view. But what would it be like if the next time you went to Disneyland with your family, you could drive past this complex and say, I own a piece of that. That's giving me some monthly income. Exactly. And what do you have to do for it? Nothing. You know what I mean? nothing.
That's
Just enjoy the ride.
yeah.
So yeah, we're excited. We're excited about what's going on right now in our business. We're finding some fantastic opportunities to put these deals together. We're also negotiating a business relationship. Fingers crossed. It's a hundreds of $1 million commitment for a very specific type of asset class down in Florida that we're more than capable of executing on. So we got some big stuff going on. It's an exciting time for us at Freedom Venture for sure. So anyway, I got that all out there. I feel good now. I get to scream and shout, share it with my buddy Nate Dogg. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that is great. That is good stuff. And so for someone, you brought up this one specific part where you said, imagine yourself driving down the road or driving on a highway and you see this big apartment complex and you're wondering who owns that? The cool thing about this and what Freedom Venture can do is you can participate in that. You can be owner of that facility, right? So, and a lot of people don't understand that. Sometimes it goes over their head, but why don't we tell our fans, all our raving fans around the world,
the world.
Yeah. Where can they go? What can they do? Let's give them the deets. Let's give them the details.
Yeah. Look, man, I don't want. What's that?
Why are we over there?
Going on. What?
It's us.
What happened?
Oh my God! What
that
happened?
in the background?
Oh no!
Look at us.
What just happened? Oh my God!
I don't know. There was a video playing, and
it's Kevin.
Did it again.
Kevin, stop! It's the production manager. He's just horrible. Sorry, I gotta take care of that guy.
What's he do? Do you want me to slap Kevin? Don't make me come down there just to slap Kevin. Look at that.
Hey, look at your
Kevin
shirt.
Right
look at your little shirt. I like your shirt. Wow. Is it a golf shirt?
Yeah, it's a golf. I told you I'm a golfer now.
No, do you really?
A ton of golf is Kevin Harrington.
Does he really?
A ton of golf.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's in Tampa. You can't get him off the golf course on the weekend.
Oh,
I'm like calling him, Kevin,
Yeah.
what are we doing? He's like, hold on a minute, I'm just teeing off. Getting a big fat cigar, teeing off on driving around in his Bentley. He's such a cool guy. So laid back. I love it. Yeah, let's talk about this. It's there's a couple of barriers to entry that have existed, right? For the average investor, the retail investor, to be able to participate in this sandbox, there's been barriers to entry. And what are they? Well, they're really time, money, and knowledge. Those are the three barriers to entry. It takes 10,000 hours, they say, to become an expert in anything. Mm-hmm. So, Freedom Venture Investments removes the barriers to entry. An investor can come in with us as little as $100,000, $50,000, depending on the deal. They can come in with us as long as they are what's called an accredited investor. You can Google that and figure out what that looks like. So that piece of the financial barrier to entry is removed. You don't have to have tens of millions of dollars in your bank account to be a part of these deals. So the next barrier to entry is knowledge. Do you understand cap rates? Do you understand the nuances of underwriting these assets? Do you know what a RUBS program is? Do you know? There's so much that goes on. How are you doing on your cost segregation analysis? Did you get all of your ducks lined up in a row? How's your relationship with the city? Mm-hmm. How's your property management relationships? All of these things are critical to execute any piece of a business plan. So the knowledge piece is removed because we've got over 50 years of experience between our team. 70 years if you bring in our property management team as well. So, we're the experts. We've done the work and substantially gone down that road. So there's the knowledge, the time, and then the financial barrier to entry, and we remove those. We've done the time, we've got the knowledge base, and we allow investors in with as little as 50 to 100. So, what does that look like? Well, we do it a couple of different ways. We have what's called a 506c Reg D fund, which is a Securities and Exchange Commission compliant fund that allows me to talk about it in this arena. If I hadn't crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's with the government, I couldn't talk about this, right? It would be a solicitation for an investment without the work being done. So, we're very compliant and aware of how this process works. So in our fund structure, think of it like a mutual fund. we'll put all the assets inside the fund. So that gives our investors diversification. They're not just on one deal, which some investors like. And then we set up a return structure for them that we are incredibly confident that we can meet because we've been meeting it and we intend to keep meeting it. So it's a preferred rate of return on the cash flow of 6%. And then it's 10 to 14% targeted quarterly distributions on that money. Just paid out distributions today. I just got the notice. I went into the bank account, sent out distributions today. So our investors are getting paid, which always makes them smile. And then when we sell the assets, so in the fund structure, it's a 72-month hold. When we sell those assets, we share in the equity. So they get 75% of all profits. Our investors get 75% of cash flow, over 6% preferred. You know, they then get all the tax benefits that go with it.
Yeah.
They get depreciation, cost segregation. I've seen K1s that the income has been 100% written off because of a tax structure that a specific investor may very well be in. So you're not going to find a better tax environment than real estate.
Yeah.
You know, even with the 1031s going on. And then that's like our mothership, if you will, is the fund structure. And then when we find assets that don't specifically meet the buy box of the fund, well, then we'll do a syndicated one-off deal, like the 81 units that we're raising for in Florida. The 25 will probably be in the fund, but the 72, because that is also a workforce housing deal, may very well be a one-off transaction as well. So those have a shorter timeline of commitment. They're usually a 3-year in and out, 3-year hold period. But, you know, the flow is very similar. Preferred rate of return, 6 to 8%, depending on the deal. Quarterly distributions, 10 to 14. And then a multiple, the equity multiple, meaning, you know, you put $1 in, you get your dollar back and how much more. So we shoot for a 2x on the multiple, double your money over that 3 to 5 year period of time. So that's how we target it out. I don't want your opinion on paint and carpet. I don't want your opinion on the contractors that we use. I'm not going to accept your opinion on the property managers. Just enjoy the ride and cash the check. Right? That's really how we do it going forward. And I see you went to freedomventure.com right here. Yeah. And at the bottom of the screen, you could download. That's our #1 downloaded white paper or ebook, and it really talks about alternative investments, commercial real estate, and how they fit inside a balanced portfolio. We did a lot of work putting that together. You got to be educated before you do anything. I won't take your money if you don't understand what's going on. So, yeah, that's what we do, brother. Yeah,
Good stuff.
It's good.
Thanks
You can also pick up the phone. Don't forget, old school baby, 781-922-4418.
That's again. That is
781-922-4418. Look, here's the thing. Let's have a conversation, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what we do with the Cash Flow Show. We make what appears to be complicated. We bring it down to its simplicity so that everybody understands and participates. You know, I'm not going to throw bullshit, freaking, Wall Street jargon out there to show everybody how smart I am.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to keep it blue collar.
But you're so smart.
I'm going to keep smart.
You're
keep
so
it blue collar in a white collar world. You know,
collar
so
in a
everybody
white
can understand it. Yeah, baby.
Good stuff. Thanks,
Any
Dave.
questions?
Do we have questions?
What do we got?
Do we have
I see
questions?
you looking all over.
Yeah.
A question.
Well, no, we got Larry saying great to see you guys, which is nice. But if you do have questions for us, what you can do is throw your questions in the comment section below, get them answered. I usually say that in the beginning of the show, but I did it this time. We've been away for the past few weeks, so I was a little rusty coming in, but
catching up.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, if you have questions either now or in the future, you can just leave your question in the comments below the video, and we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you with any questions you have about this kind of investment strategy.
Good stuff.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
you, mate. Thanks, brother.
All right, bud. Until next time, we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Yeah, we will.